Hey guys, welcome back. So I've just gone and changed my subscription, so hopefully I'm able to record for as long as I want now and at a higher quality, but we'll just see how this goes. So I thought while I'm at it, I'll do another tier list, another shorter one from another director that I really like. Although I haven't seen any really lists or top tens or tiers on this director, so hopefully if you've been looking for one like me, then you finally found one. So this is for James Gray's films. Now he's only made 8 films so far, so it's only a shorter tier list. But I do think he's a director that's worth talking about because he has quite a unique style. I wouldn't even say style because his films aren't like instantly recognizable visually, but he certainly has certain themes flowing throughout all of his films that kind of connect them. And yeah, I don't know. I just am really drawn to most of his films. I really admire a lot of what he's put to screen because he's quite a unique director. So anyway, without any further to do, we'll get started on this list. And again, it's just randomized. So starting with The Yards. So this film came out back in 2000. I think it was only his second film, and I enjoyed this film quite a bit. It's kind of just just a fine film. Like I think I'd probably put it in B actually because I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Um, and it's got Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, and Joaquin Phoenix and James Caan. So a great cast. And Joaquin has worked with this director like 4 times, I think, and Mark Wahlberg's even worked with him a few times. But I think this was the first one they all did together, and it's just quite an entertaining crime drama film. Like he really kind of dabbles in the drama and crime um, genres a lot in his filmographies, but this is actually a pretty underrated film, I think. I think it's only on like a 6.4 on the IMDb, but it's definitely worth checking out. Next up, we have The Lost City of Z. So this is a more recent film of his, and his films of the last decade have been a bit bigger scale, especially this one, Ad Astra, and probably The Immigrant. His earlier work is quite claustrophobic in a way and small scale and just smaller stories. But yeah, like The Lost City of Z is quite a big film. It's quite long as well. In fact, I think it might be a bit too long for what it is, but it's very visually beautiful. It has great performances. I think it's Charlie Hunnam in the leading role. Sienna Miller, sorry, is in the film as well as Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson as well, who gives a great performance here. I think Robert Pattinson's one of them actors that's really come out and in the last 5 to 10 years with some great films. Then this is definitely one of those underrated ones of his to check out as well. So I really enjoyed this film. It had a great story. It was really quite interesting. Not quite S material because I do think it's a bit long and drawn out in some areas, but it's definitely an A film. So I definitely recommend checking that one out. Two Lovers is another film that Joaquin Phoenix did with this director, and I think it's probably their best collaboration. Um, it's more like a romantic drama film, but quite a tragic one as well. It's quite a sad story, especially towards the ending, but it's also a really good movie and probably worth being in the A tier as well. So I'm going to put it up there because it's probably my favorite of his early works, like post pre 2010 films, and it's quite a good little movie. I have only seen it once though, a while ago, so I would like to check it out again. Um, Here we have Armageddon Time. This is his most recent film. It just came out last year, and I saw it a couple months ago and enjoyed it. It kind of felt like he was going back to his roots here, well, literally, because this is kind of about his childhood and his upbringing, but it also feels like his earlier films, like The Yards and Little Odessa and things like that, where it's just a smaller scale story. I did enjoy it, and I'll put it in the B tier with The Yards because it was pretty decent. You've got good performances from Anthony Hopkins and Anne Hathaway, who was really good in this film, and I can't remember who played the dad, but he was really good. I don't know if it's Jeremy Irons. No, it's not Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Strong maybe, but he was really good in the film. And it was a really good looking movie. And I've heard that James Gray actually wants to make a sequel to this, so that might be interesting. I don't know that it will ever get made, but anyway, next up we have We Own the Night. This is a movie that I don't remember much about, and after seeing it once, I didn't really have a desire to watch it again. Um, it reunites the director with Joaquin Phoenix and Mark Wahlberg again, and I think it's the first film they made since The Yard, so there's like a 7 year gap there. But the film is actually it's decent, but it's probably yeah, on the lesser side for me personally. Eva Mendes is in the film too, but it's probably only a C tier for me, just because I don't think I've ever felt like rewatching it as much as these ones up here. But it's okay. Um, Next up, we have The Immigrant. Now, this is a pretty good movie. Again, one of them I've only seen once. I've pretty much seen all of these films once, to be honest, but I did enjoy this one. I didn't love it, but I think it's probably high B tier. Again, Joaquin Phoenix, you got Marion Cotillard in this film as well, and oh, what's his name? Jeremy Renner, I think. Yeah, they were pretty good. It's a good movie, a great looking film. It really has that yellow kind of tinge that a lot of his earlier works have. But I think it's his first kind of bigger scale film as well after Two Lovers. But it's pretty decent. Next up, we have his first film, Little Odessa, from 1994, I think. I wasn't a huge fan of this one. In fact, it's the only one of his films that I outright didn't really enjoy that much. The performances were okay. Tim Roth is a bit hit and miss for me, and Edward Furlong, who's normally pretty good, just kind of annoyed me in the film. And this was around the time he was doing like Terminator and American History X. He was in some great films in the 90s, but this movie, yeah, just didn't really capture my attention. I know people do like it though, and it's not a bad film that I'd put in E or F, but I reckon it's probably only a D as far as my opinion goes of that one. And last but not least, that brings us to Ad Astra, which is my personal favorite of his movies. And I'm just going to go chuck that straight up in the S tier because this film kind of blew me away, to be honest. I saw it um, probably less than a year ago for the first time, but really, really loved it. I think it's one of the best recent science fiction films I've ever seen. And it's kind of like mixes a big blockbuster sci-fi in with, hey buddy, um, with an art housey kind of film as well. So it worked really well. I thought Brad Pitt was great. Um, it was a lot of fun because it kind of felt like a blockbuster film and an art house film together, and it just worked really well, um, combining those two things. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It's definitely one of my favorite movies I've seen in the last year. So definitely check it out if you get the chance. Brad Pitt was also really great in it. So yeah, that's my tier list for James Gray's feature films that he's directed so far. As I said, not too many, but definitely check him out if you haven't yet. Definitely check out the S and A tier films. Even the B tier films are really good if you get the chance. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and stick around, and I'll hopefully keep making more of these lists for you. Bye.